Hi guys, good evening. Welcome to my podcast W5. Wow Woman Winning Wonderful World. Friends, we are in 21st century where we feel women are secure. Dowry demand has almost become zero. But nil and almost zero is not bridging the gap. In our society, there are people of mental status who want to raise their status by demanding finance and other facilities from parents of bride. There are also people who feel proud for their son when they get materials and money in tons from the in-laws of their son. So, here the role of woman, girl, bride is very important, as she should always keep in mind she is born for a special cause, not for being harassed from husband or in-laws. And if such situation is met with by anybody, they should think and make a best choice of LEAVE leave for LIVE leave. And such choice was made by our today's wow woman Madhumita Shaw, who broke social barriers and not let her down and helped herself and others also. So let's take a look to her journey from pathetic Madhu to respectable Madhumita. Madhumita Shaw, the owner of handicrafts business People Tree, overcame the struggle in her married life to find independence and helped hundreds of Jharkhand tribal women find theirs. A few weeks into her marriage, Madhumita Shaw's in-laws began harassing her for dowry. Even as the act is legally banned in India, it was not enough to stop her husband's family from making constant demands. Madhumita, a native of Ghatshila in Jharkhand's Jamshedpur city, had got married in 2012 through an acquaintance and settled with her husband in West Bengal. Like everyone else, she had wished that her marriage could culminate in a long-term relationship. She wanted to be happy in her married life and live comfortably. But soon after settling in a new home, her in-laws started making unrealistic demands for gift. Initially, the demands were smaller and her father fulfilled that. However, the number of requests increased with time. The in-laws would taunt her, pass harsh comments and mistreat her if the demands were not met. The 39-year-old Madhumita, after 6 months of her marriage, her in-laws demanded rupees 1 lakh from her father. There was no way her father could arrange that huge amount, and she realized that such demands from her in-laws would never end. Her husband was also unsupportive, so she blatantly refused. The result was that she was thrown out of house. Initially, she thought she could cope with the torture and try to convince them over time. But after their extreme step, she decided to give up on the relationship and she returned home. Today, Madhumita has slowly and steadily rebuilt her life, and it's not just her that is thriving as a result, but hundreds of tribal women across Jharkhand are also financially empowered and independent. So, all of them thanks to the entrepreneur's vision. She is 39 now. She is doing all this and more through her organization People Tree, a brand name she has established for her organization. How she empowered through handicraft. All those years ago, constant harassment and losing her relationship had pushed Madhumita into depression. She felt low and people in the village also taunted her. It became difficult to live in an unfriendly atmosphere. People around her said that she would never be able to get back on her feet and would have to give up on her life. But her parents thought otherwise. They put complete faith in her and supported her during her emotional turmoil. Soon, she realized that the phase could not continue for long. She realized that if she continued to live in a low emotional and mental state, she would only fall deeper into depression, and she decided to get out of it. An opportunity came knocking around 2014 when she visited Jamshedpur and saw some people selling key rings made from wood on the roadside. The product interested her and she kept thinking about its commercial prospect. She thought of experimenting and turning it into business for herself. Madhumita, who holds a diploma in retail management, tried to give strength to her wings. She reached out to artisans she knew in her village and convinced them to teach her the art of carving key rings from wood. By 2015, she had persuaded 3 tribal women to make the handicraft. The women in the village were leading a suppressed life like she did, and she felt that if they became financially independent, they could resist and prevent the torture they went through. She wanted to bring a positive change in their lives along with her life. A year later, in 2016, Madhumita launched People Tree, a social enterprise that works on empowering women from tribal communities via financial independence. Initially, they sold key rings, but then researched more product and decided to extend the varieties. They developed wooden trays, pen stand and more, and presented them at exhibitions. They also sold them door to door and received an impressive response. Later, the woman found a small space in front of a furniture shop. The owner was kind enough to share her space for their business. The shop was in a prime location, and again their products received significant demand and they continued to progress. Since then, the social enterprise has trained over 200 women, each earning an average of rupees 15,000 a month. The venture offers over 200 handicraft items, including coasters, nameplates, house decor items, and others, earning revenue worth rupees 60 lakhs per year. Mamta Namta, an employee of People Tree, says they had never worked in life and was a homemaker. But one day, she decided to attend the handicraft making workshops organized in her village. Since then, she has never stopped earning money for her family, and now she proudly says she earns about rupees 5,000 to 7,000 a month depending on the business. She had been able to cover tuition fees for her children's education and some of the daily expense, and she feels very proud and independent as she does not rely much on her husband nowadays. People Tree has established product centers in Potka, Ghatshila and Mathladi in East Singhbhum district. Women can work at these workshops or choose to work from home. Today, the demand is so high that they fall short on production. They are now working to rope in more artisans to meet the market demands. Besides, the social enterprise also provides vocational training to girls in 16 residential schools located in Jamshedpur, Ghatshila and Ramgarh, and supports an orphanage in Golmuri of East Singhbhum. Madhumita says that her journey towards establishing and empowering women has helped her grow in multiple ways. Earlier, people used to question her potential and doubt her capabilities. But now that she has proved herself, they admire and respect her. Also, many homemakers receiving secondary status in the family now have a crucial role in making decisions. She wants the business to expand further and empower as many tribal women as possible to pull them out of poverty and social barriers. I wish all the best to Madhumita in her aspire and noble cause. आप होंगे कामयाब अपने मंसूबे में क्योंकि आपको खुद में है विश्वास. So here we come to the happy ending of Madhumita's story, who not only stood but also makes stand so many tribal women. Thus we see education is important, but not only thing that make you stand against all odds, but it's willpower and your inner strength which keeps you alive and helps in bringing zeal in life. Meet you tomorrow with next Wow Woman. Till then, keep smiling, be happy, bye bye.